The leaks for Chapter 340 Part 2 has just dropped, and they are even more crazy than Part 1. As we see BAROU being made a fool out of, sadly. After that, we see Hugo becoming an absolute unit as he starts going crazy on the pitch, as he passes LOKI, who is super close to the goal. But whether it will be a goal or not, that's for you to wait for. But before that, let me give you a quick rundown of what happened in the first half of Chapter 340. So first off, we have Karasu, Shido, and Ryo, all three of them working like a real unit out on the field, before embarrassing the France team a bit too much. And Shido decides to pass it to Hiyori, who traps it, and just then, all of them rushes to the goal. Hiyori then starts loading up a pass to Karasu, but Karasu lets the ball slip towards Isagi. But for some reason, LOKI starts to think that the series is about him, so he comes in Isagi's way. Because of that, he passes to Rin on his side, and together it looks like they got behind LOKI. But as Rin passes the ball back to Isagi, LOKI is then right away on his tail. They then go into a duel with each other, before Isagi shows us what he is planning as he passes to BAROU on his side, who looks absolutely furious and starving for a goal. Alright, so the chapter starts off with the text saying, BAROU SHUT, being the villainous brat that he is, which sounds pretty cool, I won't even lie. Anyway, with that, we see BAROU going with the ball like a madman. He does his signature chop feints behind two no-names of the French team, leaving them completely stunned. When he thinks that he has gotten free, he starts to get into shooting position, and he tells himself that a single blow devours the royal road that Isagi so kindly created. And just then, he actually shoots. However, sadly, he doesn't shoot the ball, as out of nowhere Hugo has arrived and kicked the ball away from BAROU's leg, making it so he just shot the air basically. Hugo does admit that he was close. Meanwhile, BAROU then looks at him, and he is super annoyed as he asks him what. After that, we see Hugo getting up in an instant, and he has the ball right by his feet now. After that, he starts to yap a bit, but he says that the primary offensive formation is centered around Karasu Tabito, while behind the scenes, Isagi and a selection of players specialized in linking up with him are the ones shaking things up, continuing and saying that their offensive power is really ramped up right. Just then, however, Hugo starts to become a beast as his eyes start to light up, and we see his unique meta-vision design again, and I don't even know how to explain it this time, but it's like a beam of light. Anyway, with that, he starts to get into passing position as he says that, well then, shall they go for it on their end too? With that, we see LOKI starting to speed up like a beast, and we also see Charles looking super cheeky from the side. But then for the blue lock side, we have Ryo. Now Ryo is super ready for what's to come, but he screams out, telling the team that this is bad. He explains that here it comes, the vertical pass counter, and tells all of them to be on the lookout for LOKI as well as Charles. With that, Hugo sends away the pass, and it's a killer pass that looks so insanely cool. However, surprisingly, it doesn't go to either LOKI or Charles, as someone called Leiden gets the ball and says a bunch of random things. We see Karasu looking pretty shocked by that while he is trying his best to block off LOKI. Isagi is also a bit confused as he says that they are spreading to the wing. Leiden then gets a huge grin as he tells them to not go thinking that LOKI's the only striker here. Now I feel like this no-name is getting a bit too big for his own good. Like, bro, you aren't anywhere near LOKI's level, so calm down. Anyway, Isagi had come to try and stop Leiden in his tracks, but he actually gets really done over as Leiden sprints past him. Isagi then looks back, super annoyed that he let him get past him. He says crap, and that France was able to see right through them. He explains deeper and says that they saw that they were clustering their defense in the center to stop LOKI and Charles, and now they're forcing a context of speed from the flanks where they are thin. Yeah, it maybe wasn't the best move of Ego to take away the future #1 striker, and also the best character in the series, Chigiri. But I move on. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? After that, we move to Henri and Ego on the bench, and Henri really can't believe her eyes at all. She tells us that they responded to their tactical change on the fly, defended against it, and even shifted their attacking formation to exploit their weak spot. After that, we see both Hugo and Ego at the same time, saying that if Blue Lock desires an ultra-offensive style, then it seems the other side is going ultra-offensive as well. Hugo then continues on his own, as he says that it seems they are wishing for a no-guard slugfest, and that's just so insanely dope, both teams going ultra-offensive and just wreaking havoc on the pitch. Also, you guys can't see this, but this panel is straight up amazing. Hugo has a whole, I don't even know what it is, but it's like a gear golem behind him. We then see Henri, who calls it amazing and says that this is the true power of the world #1, France. We then see their coach again, who is called Rodin, and he tells his team to stab them. We then move back to Leiden, who seems to have some trouble actually speaking, as he just says bam and boom and not too concretely. Anyway, after that, Leiden decides that it's time to lock in, so he sends away not a shot, but a pass, from the looks of it. Or that's what Gagamaru thought was going on. But as he is later inspecting it, he says that it's on an exquisite trajectory that will go in the goal unless he touches it, and Gagamaru thinks that he has no choice but to come out. However, just then, he realizes that it's not what is going on, as we see Loki doing a super high jump, jumping almost all the way to the ball, and he then starts to smirk like crazy. Gagamaru then starts to panic and looks super shocked as he explains that France actually got him. Now just when Blue Lock is in their most desperate moment, there is someone who will come and save them. And that's the dark horse Kunigami, who jumps higher than what Loki ever could, and he heads away the ball, stopping Loki from scoring his first goal of the match. But that's not all, as Kunigami also drops an insane cold line as he tells them that if it's a slugfest that they are looking for, then they can for sure count him in. Now I don't know about you, but it sounds like Kunigami is really standing on straight business here. Anyway, the ending text says, "The hero always arrives late. Blue Lock Japan, time for the counterattack." Now after that insane reveal right at the end, I can tell you guys that there will be no break next week, which is just kind of insane. It does sadly sound like they are working the authors to death, but hopefully they feel better from last week when, well, they weren't feeling well. Also, the next chapter will be called A Choice for the Future, which that sounds like a banger of a chapter. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know who that will be about. It does sound like it can be about Isagi, as he will have to make the choice for his future, if he is gonna follow Hugo's words and try to become the world's second best or not. However, I do at the same time feel like he has made it pretty clear that he doesn't want to go through that path. So when thinking about that, I don't really know who it will be about. If it will be more about Kunigami, or maybe Shido, then I won't complain at all. Now let's quickly go over the leaks. Now let's be honest, I feel like all of us knew that BAROU was going to get blocked here, and that wasn't a surprise at all. However, everything else I was pretty shocked about. I for sure thought that Shido was going to score in this chapter, and make the scores even. And while on that topic or not really, however, I really didn't expect to see Kunigami in this chapter. Now I'm not complaining at all, but it was just a bit shocking, but at the same time, who can really complain? But all of this means that the next chapter just has to have a spectacular goal in it. I can already envision the next chapter, and seeing how Shido is going to run up on the field and get the ball to then score a banger of a goal. But let's not glaze Shido too much, since it hasn't even happened yet. But I must say that Kunigami really came in clutch here, and helped out Blue Lock a ton. As I previously said, I really didn't think that he would be here, so I was happily surprised. And his save was also really dope, locking down Loki and preventing him from scoring when Gagamaru was drawn out. And it was pretty much a free goal, was super sick. Anyway, let me know what you thought about today's leaks, if you thought that they were predictable, and if it played out just as you thought that it was going to or not. Also, while on the topic, please just rate them in the comments and what you liked about it. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like. Also, if you can, hype the video down below, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.